Now, we are at the Gladden Fields. We are with Gandalf again. And we are untapping everyone. Wounded characters would not untap at this point, but no one's wounded, luckily. And Glorfindel does have those herbs there, so he could also... How do those work? Bear can tap and discard this item. Bear can tap and discard this item to heal a character in his company, changing the character's status from wounded to well and untapped. Alternately, he can tap and discard this item to untap a character that's not wounded. Okay, that's why I gave it to Glorfindel, because he will often end the rounds untapped because of his amazing prowess, and so he could essentially untap another character who we would want to pull an item or whatever. So, great. Now, what are we going to do? We need to go somewhere. We could return to a haven, but there's really no need to do that. Everyone's untapped, and we've got a ring that we need to get, so let's take a look in our deck. I don't know if there's any artful way to do this, but let's take a look in our deck and see where we have to get rings. We are now in the Anduin Vales. Okay, we get a ring at Isengard. Is that a potential? Let's take a look over here. Sorry if I'm moving around so much. Anduin Vales, Woden Foothills, Fangorn, Gap of Isen. So yeah, that's a potential path. We could go to Isengard and try and get that ring there. It's not a bad idea. We could also go to Bandit Lair. Bandit Lair's in the Brownlands. We're in the Anduin Vales. That's one region away. So the Brownlands are immediately under southern Mirkwood. And they are a shadow land. But the lair itself is only a ruin and lair. So, the automatic attack is pretty weak. So that might not be the worst idea. I think it makes more sense to go to the place that's closer by. We can always go to Isengard later, or not, if Saruman comes out and is camping out there. But yeah, let's place this card as our destination. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. We're in the untap phase. I'm thinking about that, but we haven't done that yet. Let's think about whether we want to split up. No, we can't split up. That's correct. We cannot split up. We can only split into different companies at havens, I believe, is the rule. So we need to keep this company as it is, but we can place people under other people's influence. Gandalf at the moment has 12 direct influence. That's going to be incredible when it comes time for him to try and get a faction or an ally, but that has not come up yet. And it's not going to come up in the next turn, so it really doesn't matter. But hey, I'm going to say that Gloin is just so... Or, no, let's say that Sam. That makes sense. Sam is going to go under Gandalf's direct influence. Sorry, I'm fumbling around. Gandalf's under Sam. Annalina's under Glorfindel. Kind of slowly inching our way to the left. All right, and yeah, let's move back this way. Oh boy. And then things get a little complicated. And then we're going to the site, which there's no need for suspense. We all know it's the Bandit's Lair. So just to reconfirm, we are leaving from Anduin Vale, we're leaving out of a ruin and lair. We're going to another ruin and lair. So anything can be key to that can be played. We're traveling through a borderland and then moving into a shadow land. Shadow Domain, I'm not sure which. Dark Domain, Shadowlands. Okay, So anything can be played to any of those types, terrain types. And we are going to a place, the Ruins and Lair, where we have the option to draw up to 1 card. Our opponent may draw up to 2. All right. I'm getting ahead of myself, though. Before we do all that, the long event phase asks that our opponent discard any long events that were played in the previous turn. So, Minions Stirred and Morgul Knight, amazing though they are, do not get to continue, which is a good thing. And so, here we go. We are traveling, and we know that we can safely discard Éomer, so we're definitely going to draw that 1 card. Hello, great. So we drew. Oh, this table is in terrible shape. I'm sorry, very embarrassing. But we drew the Magic Ring of Nature. So we have 2 different Magic Rings. We have one of Courage and one of Nature. Nature is awesome. Nature, if it's held by a Ranger, he may tap to cancel an entire attack. As we've seen from Concealment, that is really good. The Magic Ring of Courage it can either give someone the warrior skill, or if it's given to a warrior, it gives +2 prowess. Also great. No cap on that. So yeah, we could get Glorfindel's prowess up to 10. He could be wiping the floor with folks. So that's another thought, another potential. So, but anyway, let's hop on over to our opponent's side and see what nasty tricks they have up their sleeve. All right, here we are, and they can draw up to 2. And they're traveling through Borderlands, so we could totally hit them with Orc Raiders. We could also play down the Redoubled Force, amazing permanent event similar to The Moon is Dead. And then that would allow us to make this attack have way more strikes, which once we play that with Pierced by Many Wounds is awesome. So what I'm saying here is that they have a hazard limit of 4.55, and so we ought to draw some cards because we're already well placed. Also, this can modify the prowess of an automatic attack at a Ruins and Lairs, which is where they're going. Also, it could do turn. Yeah, anyway, we don't need to worry about that. They're already going through a Shadowlands. So let's do it. Drawing. Forlong. Not what we need right now, but great. And Orc Warriors. Awesome. Okay. Wow. They're in a lot of trouble. And they don't even know it. All right, so let's see. Let's play smart. It's a little bit of a brain racking to think from both sides, but I'm trying to be fair. All right, so let's play smart. Okay, so Doors of Night is in play. So this permanent event says all troll or control automatic attacks. Oh, this only applies to automatic attacks. All right, well that's awesome. We can put that on an automatic attack, and this is also going to buff the automatic attack. So that is it. Oh no, that automatic attack is men, not orcs. Okay, so that's not going to help us this time, but we can still play it. And yeah. So we're not going to be able to take advantage of Pierced by Many Wounds because our 2, because our two creatures have 4 and 3 strikes respectively, and they have more characters than that. So we're not going to be able to take advantage of that yet. We'll be patient. It's a great card. We almost got to play it before, and I think we kind of saw how the potential. So let's be patient. Now, Orc Raiders is tricky because 4 strikes of 6, that very easily could become a marshalling point for them, and I don't want that. But they only have 3 high prowess characters, so there's a good chance. However, Anórien is likely tap to face the strike. And, yeah. And she'll still have a very good chance of beating that. Orc Warriors, 3 strikes of 7. That's, yeah, similar issue. Oh boy. Well, a little frustrating. I thought we were going to hand it to them, but I misunderstood redoubled force. It only applies to orc control automatic attacks. So let's bide our time with that. We could play it now, but then they are likely to avoid places with orc control automatic attacks. It might be better to play it once they're en route to one of those places. Oh man. Forlong could actually be played in at Minas Tirith. That's his home site. So, yeah, we could get another meat shield. And I shouldn't be thinking about Saruman's team. I'm thinking about attacking them. All right, so I'm just trying to consider who I want to discard. Nothing really. So, oh boy. I just don't want to discard any of these. All right, well, I'm going to play Choking Shadows. There's really no downside to playing Choking Shadows, even if they were to beat this rather puny 3 strikes of 6 prowess automatic attack. I mean, buffing it by 2 is pretty good. 3 strikes of 8, that starts to hurt, potentially. So Choking Shadows. The Choking Shadows are creeping through, down from southern Mirkwood into the bandit's lair. Cool artwork. All the artwork is amazing. This Pierce by Many Wounds is awesome. Yeah, let's see. I think that might be the only thing we do. I'm so torn about redoubled force. I'd rather just do it now so I don't have to waste hazard limit later. On the other hand, I just, yeah. I just don't know. And Forlong. I just don't know. I'm trying to think. The places they'll go, they're getting rings. I mean, even if I didn't know what their deck was, which I do, but if I imagine that I don't, I'd have a pretty good sense at this point that they're going after rings. They got Gandalf, they pulled rings already. They're going to another place where the only thing you can get is a ring or a minor item. So yeah, I think I got the idea. They're going for rings. And there are lots of sites to get rings that do not involve or control automatic attacks. But on the other hand, this card stays in play until they defeat one of those. So I'm just going to play it now. I've got the hazard limit to burn, and I might not have it later, and I don't want to feel like I have to discard that when I could use it later. So there we go. Gonna play those two. Gonna keep these orcs here with me now. I just don't want to hand them a marshalling point for no reason. And yeah, so kind of organize things. Yeah, so I'm just going to say that's the end of the turn. They made it. Good job, guys. So let's go back over there. Alrighty, and okay, so they arrived. They have to discard something. We're going to discard Éomer. And they have to bring the hand back up to 8. And we are now in the bandit lair. We also discard the Gladden Fields. And here we are. Everyone is untapped, and we're looking pretty. We could wait for the Choking Shadows to dissipate next turn, but that's crazy. We have a bunch of brawlers, and the attack is 3 strikes with a prowess of 8 now, thanks to the Choking Shadows. So, yeah. Now I just have to think, who do I want to have this ring here? I could totally have Sam take it, and then if it's a magic ring of nature, if it's revealed to be a magic ring, it could be a magic ring of nature, and that would be awesome. I could let Glorfindel have it and get his prowess up to 10. Oh boy. That's really tough. I could... Yeah, tricky. Not sure. I think I want Sam to have it. Sam loves rings, right? Okay, so let's do that. Sorry, I'm taking a lot of... As the game goes on, things get more and more complicated. There get more and more things to consider. Okay, we're going to face this automatic attack. 3 strikes with a prowess of 8, and I'm going to... Gandalf, thanks to his dwarven ring, now has a prowess of 8. So I could literally not tap, but there's just small chance he would become wounded, and that's crazy. There's no reason. Although, I would like to tap Gandalf to test the ring right away. That would be cool. The sooner we test the ring, the sooner we can take advantage of its awesome abilities. So, yeah, that is a question. I could tap and let Annalena take the strike. I mean, she could probably deal with it. Worst case scenario, she dies and I lose a marshalling point. And it's sad, but yeah. Decisions. I think I don't want to get in a decision paralysis. So Gloin and Glorfindel are definitely tapping to take the strikes, and I'd rather put Annalena at risk than Gandalf, even though the risk is very small. So yeah, those 3 are going to tap to take the strikes. And here we go. Glorfindel, 8. He has to beat... It's a prowess of 8, so he wins automatically. Gloin, 5. Alright, he beats his. And Annalena has a prowess of 3, trying to beat 8. And she does it. Alright, fantastic. So we defeated that automatic attack. We are able to enter the bandit's lair. And Samwise Gamgee is going to tap to play this precious gold ring. Ta-ta! And, sorry, I'm not holding that. Alright, and Gandalf is going to tap to test Sam's ring, and we're going to roll. So there's one of 2 possibilities. If I roll a 1 through 5, it will be revealed as a magic ring. Otherwise, it will be revealed as a lesser ring, which is not bad. 6. Ah, shoot. So, not a magic ring of nature, as I'd hoped. The precious gold rings are the ones that are most likely to be dwarven rings, I think. So, they're a little bit skewed towards the possibility of becoming a dwarven ring, or the One Ring, actually. Hence the name Precious. So, oh well. This card gets discarded and replaced with a lesser ring. So, Sam now has +2 direct influence, and he has 2 corruption points, but of course he has a natural +3 to corruption, +3 buff to corruption checks. So that is meaningless. He's fine. Congratulations. Great job. Okay, so we've got a party with 2 magic rings, and our 2 minor items are still in play. And yeah, so that's it. We're done with our side phase, and we're at the end of turn phase. So at this point, we can discard 1 card if we choose, and then bring our hand back up to 8 once more. Look, what are the cards that are in... What are the undead cards that are in here? I wish I hadn't discarded the Mouth of Sauron. That was a really boneheaded move. Stirring Bones. I could see where considering I don't have any... it's tricky. I don't have any hazards in my hand right now, so the Exhalation of Decay does have a benefit there. But on the other hand, I could discard this, and that would up the chances of getting... I don't have anything else to do when our turn comes around. Oh boy, tricky. All right, I'm not going to discard anything. Just bring my hand up to... There we go. Another Chill Dowser. Awesome. Okay, so Chill Dowser. So I could play that later and then use the Exhalation of Decay to pull something from the discard, and it would get that buff. Or it would get a buff to counteract the -1 prowess modifier. Okay, and same over here. This guy could, if they so wish, these guys could discard somebody, and boy, 4 long is really not that bad. He's 1 mind and he has 3 prowess. That's not bad. And he could be played at Minas Tirith. And we're heading into our turn. So, man. Alright, I'm going to discard the orc warriors. I probably regret that, but orc lieutenant. Okay. All right. Well, orc lieutenants are good on companies that have already faced an orc attack. Well, we still got the orc raiders. So anyway, we're heading into our turn, so we should be thinking about ways to capitalize on that. All right, and here we are. We're back at Saruman's turn. And we're in Minas Tirith. All right, we're in the untap phase. Oh, Choking Shadows. Choking Shadows. I played that, yes. Okay, that should be discarded. Untap Aragorn, untap Théoden. Éomer is untap the shield. Gosh. Untap the shield, but Éomer does not untap because we're not in a haven. Untap Hema, untap Aragorn. And we are in Minas Tirith. Okay. Now, we are not going to go anywhere. We are going to... it's our organization phase. Again, I could move folks around. I really don't see the need necessarily. Yeah. I still don't see the need. We can always move Hema under Théoden later, if needed. I mean, yeah. You can still bring Forlong out. We still have 1 general influence available, so we could, right? It's 15. Yeah, we still have 1 available. All right, let's just leave it. So yeah, I am going to do that. I'm going to bring Forlong out, play him. We're in Minas Tirith. His home site is Minas Tirith, so it's all good. He's a warrior Dunedain. And, okay. So we are going to stay in Minas Tirith. Now we still have a movement hazard phase, even though we're not moving. So any hazards that can be keyed to a freehold, which Minas Tirith is a freehold, can still be played. And so we still have to reckon with that, along with, of course, corruption cards. Those can also be played at any time. So Nazgul can be tapped to bring cards in from the sideboard. Lots of things can happen even though we're not moving. And so we begin our movement phase. All right, so we are staying in Minas Tirith. And I'm wondering, do they get to do... I don't know. Hold up, let me look at the rules real quick. Do they get to draw cards if I don't move? Okay, so the answer is no, they do not. So we're going to stay here, but that doesn't mean that, again, we could still, they still have the hazard limit of 5. We could still play any of these, one of these 2 cards, or we could tap to bring something in from the sideboard. Let me think about this for a moment. Twilight. Here's our sideboard. Twilight is not so important. Muster disperses could be good. This is all like long-term plays. I just don't think. I'd rather keep Ren as a potential corruption check. And yeah, boy, this is a toughie. I kind of want to just put those corruption points on Théoden and tap Ren to make it force a check. Let's see, that would be 5 corruption points, and I could force a check with Ren. Seems like not amazing. Yeah, I wanted. Tough. This is a tough. I mean, it's not doing me any good just sitting here in my hand. Although it's a great card to have, if they're going to stay in safe places, it's kind of a good card to have. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play The Moon is Dead. And they know I'm going undead, so that's no surprise. And that's it. That's all we're going to play. So we bring our hand back up to 8. Ghost School. I've got some cards that are the same card but with different artwork, so that's awesome. Still need to stick with the only 3 non-unique rules, and hello, Saruman. Okay, awesome. So Saruman has been pulled. All right. So we brought our hands back up to 8 at the end of the movement hazard phase, and now it's the sight phase. And here we go. I'm going to play Return of the King on Aragorn, giving him +3 direct influence. He already has +2 towards factions with that horn, and then he has 3 direct influence. So that's 6, 7, 8. And then I'm going to play the Sentinels of Numenor. Alright, that's going to go over here in our marshalling points area. And that means that any factions that I play key to sites in Anórien, Lebanon, Lemedon, Belfast, and Anfalas are modified by -2, but they give 1 additional point. So now Aragorn's going to tap to attempt to bring into play the Men of Anórien, and he would only need to roll a 7. He's got 7, well, modified by 2, so a 9, but he's got 8 direct influence and +1 because he's Dunedain, so 9. So there's no way he can lose, so we bring the Men of Anórien in right away. And there we go. And we are done with our turn. Now, Saruman, being the wizard, I think he's able to be brought into play at Isengard, even if he's alone there. I don't know that anybody else needs to be there to welcome him. Although there is a little bit of a dangerous proposition. Isengard is a ruin and lair, so there's quite a few hazards that can be played there, and you don't want your wizard to be all on his own at a site. So the next thing we may do... Oh, by the way, we needed to tap Minas Tirith. Yes. The next thing we may do is to go to Isengard and meet at least some of our crew may go there to meet old Saruman. But for now, we're good. We can discard 1 card if we choose, and then bring our hand back up to... I don't think we want to discard anything. We can... The Shadow of Mordor, another amazing card. So that's 6. Éomer, 7. And another Orc Lieutenant. Oh, very cool. Okay. So, 2 Orc Lieutenants. Orc Raiders, pierced by many wounds, Shadow of Mordor. Yeah, we're well positioned to beat up our friends on the other side next time. Yeah, but that's going to be the end of our turn. And then on this side, we have the same, we're faced with the same choice. We could go back to Lórien and bring in Gildor and Glórien. We have quite a bit of influence at this point. We don't really have anything to do in the next turn, so I'm not sure that I want to discard anything. We could try, yeah, You know what? Oof. I'm just not feeling this Lure of Senses at the moment. As much as I want to get Théoden, it's just doesn't have quite as many corruption points as I need to really get him. So let's discard that for now and bring our hand back up to. Hopefully we'll get something good. We got Halfling Strength. That's all right. Cool. Okay, so we're going to take a little break here, but stay tuned.